Hello everyone. Let's just dive into this very beautiful, chaotic, and beautiful mind. And why today I start this with a quote? Because I just watched the video of Harvard Business School by Matt Abharams, and the topic of that video is spontaneous talking. In which video he talk about how to be a perfect speaker when it comes to the spontaneous process. Because if we talk about a planned speech or a planned communication, everybody can do that, because in that you have time to form structures, you have time to formulate your thoughts, you have time to rearrange them into the slides, and then you also have time to deliver them. So you always choose the best thoughts, you always formulate the best slides, you always uh, make the content beautifully, and then just you have to deliver it. I'm not saying that it is a very easy task. It is also very, time taking and a very hard task too for someone. But it is relatively easy if we talk about the spontaneous speaking. The spontaneous speaking is basically when you have to speak at the moment, momentarily if you have to speak, and where your mind doesn't help you that much, because you don't get the time for reframing, you don't get time for much time for thinking, for structuring. You just have to do that in an instance, and then you have to speak and deliver also. So in that video, Matt Abrahams told us about the five major things that in our way of being a good spontaneous speakers. The very first thing he talk about that we are ourselves the first obstacle in the way of becoming the perfect spontaneous speakers. And why he's saying that? He said that because we want to be perfectionist in every task. We want to do everything in a very perfectly and a well structured manner. If, for instance, I ask somebody that you have to perform this, so the very initial thought that came into his or her mind is that he want to be perfect. He want to do that thing in a very right, in a very beautiful manner. And it's just not about his or her, it's always about everybody. Like, if you ask me about doing something on the stage in front of people, the very first initial thought that came into my mind is that thing only, that I want to do perfectly. I want to be the perfect in that scenario. But he said that that is the main obstacle you are in the way. Your tendency to become perfect is the very first obstacle that come into your way of becoming a good speaker. Not just about spontaneous, but about in general speaking. When you present yourself in front of the people. So why so? Why it is so that it is a good thing that I want to do something perfectly? How it is bad? How it is something that it is an obstacle in achieving something miraculous thing like speaking? Like, I want to improve something. How it is an obstacle? So he said that if we are thinking in a manner like I want to be perfect, I want to be right, so that will create anxiety and pressure on our mind. And if we cannot handle our anxiety and pressure in a good manner, we are going to be fumbled. We are not going to deliver that we are going to be, or that how if what potential we have. So he said that free yourself from the pressure, free yourself from the you know of this thought to be perfect. Just seize that thing as an opportunity. That is the opportunity to improve yourself. So that is in the analogy of our channel also, like growing 1%. So in, like, rather saying that thing to being a perfect thing, or just like pressurizing your mind like you want to do that thing perfectly, take that thing as an opportunity to grow. So that's the very first obstacle. And if you have that kind of thinking, you replace this thinking of being perfect in that scenario by this scenario of taking this as an opportunity of learning. you can replace that one, or you can overcome that one obstacle. And the second one is your mind. And how it is so? Like, if I ask you something, if you, for an instance, let's take an example. There is you and your partner, maybe some another person, and you have to give to them an imaginary gift, like a box. There's something in it, and it is imaginary, and you have to tell them that why would you give that. So our mind prepare, as soon as I just said this question, a mind prepared an answer. For instance, if I talk about that, when I first watched the video, and he asked this question to the audience, the very first my mind is ready with the answer. Like as soon as he said, like you have to imagine a box and then you have to communicate with your partner. My mind is ready with the answer. That maybe it's a birthday cap, maybe it's a phone, maybe it's a water bottle, a bouquet, or something else. So that thing is the second obstacle. Like our mind is helpful in that scenario, but we don't have to be pressurized. Like if we have that structure in our mind, we're somewhat creating the pressure into mind that we just want to follow that structure, that line of uh, scenario only. But rather to be pressurizing our mind, we have to see this as an opportunity. Like we don't have to answer that thing that instantly came to your mind. Just think, uh, try to make that situation as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to learn, rather to put pressure on your mind or pressurizing yourself for the fact that you want to be a perfectionist. And the third, like the thing that you have to do, and it's kind of a obstacle, is that you need to be slow. You need to be a good listener. You first need to hear what a person who asks the question demands from you, from your answer. If we don't want to listen, if we don't listen to the question, how would we deliver the answer that a person want to be? And that is the perfect answer of the person. If a person asked me a question, what is the perfect answer for him or her? Like the thing, the information he want to me to answer. If I deliver that kind of information, that every step, like there's a check mark, he want to ask me something and he want that set of information from me, and I give all that, that is the perfect answer for him or her. So that is why we first need to listen and then need to respond. And how to respond? He said that in a slow manner, in a controlled manner. There is no need to rush. There's like nothing. You don't have a train. You don't have to catch the metro. You don't have to catch the flight. Being in the moment is the very important thing, because that is also like our next obstacle. We are not in the present moment. The main problem is that if somebody asks me a question, my mind is instantly jumping onto the future scenarios. And that is why this judging factor come into the picture. Why we feared so much about judging, why we instantly think, if I have to go speaking on stage for something, or if I have to go on the stage and performing something, the very first initial thought that came into my mind, apart from the thought that I discussed just in the video, is that about how people is going to see me, how they are judging me. So like this is not we in the present moment. This is we thinking about the future scenario, and that is definitely going to affect the performance of ours. So being in the present moment is very important, and it's very crucial for a speaker, because if you want to engage with your audience, you want to be in the present moment. You just don't want to be into your own, lost into your own thoughts about thinking how, what will happen, how will happen, what if people, uh, what is people going to think about me, how they are going to perceive me. These are the things in the future. Just first go on the stage, deliver something. You don't need to be feared. The very first thing. And that is all the obstacle he talk about. And at the video, he concluded that if a person is a good listener, he speaks in a very slow and controlled manner, and he is free from judgment, and he lives in the present moment. That is the person who has the ability to become a good speaker. Like we talk about what is the recipe to become a good speaker? What is the recipe? How to we make ourselves better at something? It is not just about the communication. It is about it is applicable in every aspect of the life. If we talk about you want to grow some habit, you want to learn something new, these are the 4 to 5 uh, check marks that you have to pass. Like free yourself from anxiety. You have to know how to control your anxiety, being in the moment, slowly deliver what you want to deliver, listen to the thing that person asks or the situation demands, and to free yourself from judgment. If a person can do that, he's able to do everything. And with that, I'm very thankful to all you for your patience listening. And that is all for this episode. And until then, you all know, stay sharp and don't forget the motto, let's grow 1% every day.